Imagine waking up on an ordinary morning, the kind of day where nothing feels unusual. Until suddenly, everything changes. The sky turns white, the ground trembles, windows rattle miles away, and a deep roar rolls across the land. In just a few seconds, an entire harbor with ships, buildings, and people seems to vanish. And the strange part is, this wasn't a nuclear bomb. It wasn't an attack. It was the largest non-nuclear explosion ever recorded in human history, and it happened completely by accident. The story begins in 1947 in the quiet harbor of Texas City in the United States. A French cargo ship, the SS Grand Camp, was docked there, carrying a cargo that looked harmless enough: ammonium nitrate. Farmers used it as fertilizer, but when it's heated and confined, it becomes one of the most explosive materials on Earth. That morning, all the wrong conditions lined up in the worst possible way. Around 8 o'clock, smoke started rising from the ship's cargo hold. Dock workers saw it as nothing more than a small fire at first. The crew sealed the hatches to cut off oxygen, hoping the flames would die out. Instead, pressure inside the ship grew and grew, turning the entire vessel into a floating bomb. People gathered around the pier to watch. Some thought the orange smoke looked strangely beautiful, drifting calmly into the air. No one realized they were standing next to disaster powerful enough to shake the entire region. At exactly 9:12 a.m., the unimaginable happened. A blinding flash erupted from the SS Grand Camp. A shockwave ripped through the city, knocking people to the ground and even shaking planes out of the sky. The thunderous blast was heard more than 150 miles away. The ship didn't just explode, it disappeared, sending a towering fireball into the sky and a massive wave of hot air and debris in every direction. Buildings collapsed instantly. Cars were tossed like toys. The heat was so fierce that steel structures twisted and melted. But the horror wasn't over yet. Not far away, another ship, the SS High Flyer, was carrying even more ammonium nitrate. Burning wreckage from the first explosion landed on it, sparking a second growing fire. For 14 long hours it burned until finally a second massive explosion tore through what was left of Texas City. This blast was nearly as powerful as the first, shaking the ground and lighting up the night sky. When everything finally settled, the destruction was overwhelming. Nearly 600 lives were lost, thousands were injured, and entire neighborhoods were wiped off the map. A giant crater marked the spot where the first ship had once been. The Texas City disaster remains the deadliest industrial accident in American history, a moment frozen in time because of how suddenly and violently it changed everything. The explosion forced governments around the world to rethink safety, chemical storage, and emergency planning. And even today, ammonium nitrate is handled with extreme caution because of the lessons learned that day. It wasn't a bomb, but its power rivaled one, reminding us that sometimes the most dangerous things are the ones we never expect.